I love you guys.
Welcome to the Torg Stories podcast. On this episode, Ann and I are discussing a story titled Otherwise Known as the Human Condition, with particular reference to Doughnut Plant Doughnuts. And this is one of your favorite topics.
I do love donuts. I'm pretty particular about my donuts. I'm even particular about the way it's spelled. I hate the way this is spelled. Is this the normal way you spell it, or did you just copy off the article?
Oh, you wouldn't spell donut like? Yes, I would spell donut like this.
I would spell donut D-O-N-U-T, donut.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I understand that it's a piece of dough and it looks like a nut or whatever, but I don't like it. I like donut, D-O-N-U-T, donut.
Interesting. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah, every time I look at it, I'm like, ugh, donuts.
I failed to mention this guy's name is Geoff. That's Jeff in English.
That's Jeff. That's a weird way for Jeff too. I prefer the J-F-F, but
So Geoff Dyer wrote this.
his last name is Diner?
D-Y, no. D-Y-E-R, Dyer.
Dyer, okay.
One early theory I have, I was surprised how few places have donuts in Boone. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And I think grocery stores have squeezed out the donut places, especially in smaller towns like mine. Like we had a Krispy Kreme out of business. I think it was called Whole Lot of Donuts downtown on King Street, in and out of business in 2 years or less. So I think maybe donut places are thriving in LA, but not in Boone.
Million donut places in LA. Many donut places are your run-of-the-mill donut places owned by Asians. You know, I don't know what country particular, but many donut places are owned by Asians. Some are good, some are not. But then, of course, those are like the run-of-the-mill donuts. Like you would go and get a donut for $2 or whatever. But man, the expensive donuts also is thriving in LA. So and
you
I
have
went to an
that more
expensive
than
one.
me.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought about, so we have at least Publix, Lowe's, Harris Teeter. Those are all grocery stores. Local Lion, where my donut I'm eating today is from. I kind of thought about at least a four-prong taste test for the family. Like just a basic glazed or a basic cake or something with frosting. And then what do you like?
Well, first of all, grocery store donut, no, thank you. I don't want it. I
don't
want
know.
part
I
of
think,
it.
right. I think you could be wrong, but right. That would
Maybe
be
can be. Maybe I'm being a snob, but I would never get a donut at the grocery stores here. Gas station donuts in general, thumbs down, but occasionally a good one. And I mentioned a good one in Brownsburg, Indiana, when we get to that. Has a really good gas station donut. But normally gas stations, avoid the donuts. Krispy Kreme donuts that are in gas stations, avoid. The only Krispy Kreme donut that's good is off the conveyor belt in an actual Krispy Kreme store when it's warm. Otherwise, thumbs down, don't want any part of that donut.
Why do you think you're donut D-O-N-U-T and I'm the other donut?
U-T, say it again.
The way you spell donuts, D-O-N-U-T.
I don't know. I stores here spell it D-O-N-U-T for sure.
Okay.
In general. When I saw Doughnut Plant, I was like, weirdo.
I wonder how Boland's spells it. You bring up Boland's in Logansport, which is one of our early good donuts.
Still early good donut, the best donut I've ever had.
Oh.
And I think the donut that set the baseline for me, which is like you can never get above that baseline. So
they spell it like you spell it. Maybe that's why you spell it that way.
Yeah. Maybe so. Yeah. To me, it's an easier way to spell it. It makes it unique. You know, it's not a piece of dough that you would get bread. It's donut. It's a donut. I don't know. It's easier. It's phonetic. I don't know why we don't like it.
So Jeff has some pretty interesting things in his essay. Stuff about the human condition. We can talk about what he means when he says the human condition, roads that we travel a lot, and then a super duper deep dive on donuts. So we're getting to meatier stuff. But Ann, I asked you to go out into LA. Did you go to all these places, or you just linked to places?
Well, these are donut places that I go to.
Okay,
now,
you've been to all these.
Yeah, I've been to all of them. I've lately been trying to lose weight, so I haven't been eating these donuts. Although I did have a sidecar donut, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty good.
Now
This will be the first donut I've had in a while right here.
I looked up Jeff because I suspected, that he was heavy.
But he's not. He's
Jeff
like
is not heavy. So he's eating a lot of donuts in his
Some people are blessed with great metabolism,
metabolism,
I
right?
guess. Yeah,
Okay.
that M word. First of all, the best donuts here in in Hollywood, in Los Angeles in general, Randy's Donuts. Randy's Donuts has an iconic sign. I don't know if you've seen the sign. If you click the link and you could see the sign, it's
I'm
a
looking.
giant round donut that says Randy's inside the donut.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did Jerry go to Randy's Donuts on Comedians and Cars? I think he might have.
probably. It's if you're going to go to get donuts in LA, this is where you're going to go. The original location is Inglewood, which is about 15 minutes away from where I work. So in past years, I've gone there for lunch, been like, oh, let's get 2 donuts for lunch. You line up, you have a drive-through. It's like an old fashioned, it opened in 1953. It looks the same. Recently was bought out by some capitalists who have been having different, what do you call it, chains,
Yeah.
opening up franchises. But I don't mind. There's a franchise now up in Burbank. I went to it a couple
And
times.
you're not graceful enough for this, but if you stood on my shoulders straight up, this Randy's donut is bigger than that, right?
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's
Maybe
big.
three of us end on end on end. So I'm estimating a 10-foot high donut at least.
It's a 50s sign, right? It looks like a 50s stand. It's like an old
Almost
hamburger stand.
like the big Arby's cowboy
Yeah,
hat on
kind of
top,
like,
kind
and it's
of
like an
that.
ice cream stand, like the actual place looks like. And to me, it looks like they make them there, but maybe they don't.
It says on the website, open a Randy's Donuts.
Yeah, I know. That's what I noticed. I looked, I was like, geez, these capitalists, because I looked at the history on Wikipedia and it was like these
I
guys
like
bought it a couple of years
I
ago.
like that you're calling them capitalists.
Capitalists, they're trying to make money on a classic. They had one on Hollywood Boulevard, which was very close to me, but it went out of business real quick. I don't think the tourists
Isn't
realized what they had.
isn't anyone selling donuts a capitalist?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, when you franchise something that works and maybe you dilute it a little bit, although I don't think they've diluted. I've been to one in Santa Monica and I've been in one in Burbank and they both tasted the same.
It's
So,
funny that you're using that word capitalist. I went to a reading last night of a colleague.
oh my gosh, look
Um,
at you. You're
I
so
know,
intellectual, like a real
it was
college
great. We
professor.
actually might read a section. It's as funny as almost any stand-up comedy routine I've
Oh,
heard
nice.
in
Yeah.
one section. So we have this place in Boone called the Farm Cafe. You don't have to pay if you don't want to. You can buy other people's meals if you want to, or you can just make a donation. And he called it the perfect little socialist experiment.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So, but anyway, you were talking about donut capitalists.
Okay, yeah. So they open franchises, which I'm for because, why not? Anyway, Randy's, I love it. It has classic donuts to me. I always buy either the classic glazed, the sugar raised, which I like. It's a donut with just a bunch of sugar on it. A vanilla iced cake. I love a vanilla iced cake. I would always prefer it over any other kind of icing like chocolate. And then if I want to get fancy, I get the buttercrumb raised, which is like, woof, it's almost like too much. It's
Yeah.
so sugary, but I love it. Now, alternative donuts I go to. I go to
Wait,
Trey. Oh,
I want to
sorry.
talk about a donut for a second. I don't have the vocabulary to talk about donuts really specifically or cooking for that matter, but maybe so there's cake donuts, and then Charlotte suggested to me that the other donut that's fluffier is a yeast donut. What would you call
Yes, it's a yeast donut.
it? Okay.
And
So
I think she's right. Yeah.
I think our little experiment showed me that I like yeast donuts better.
I like yeast donuts better in general just because I feel like, ooh, it must be less calories too.
Because
The
it's not as
cake
dense.
donut, yeah, the cake donut is dense like a piece of cake. But I like a good cake donut too. And Randy's has a good cake donut. And Bolin's also has a good cake donut. So
Yeah, once we start adding frosting, that's when I'm thinking maybe I do like cake donuts more.
I think when you put the frosting on it, like it adds a lot to cake. But like I said, at Randy's, I'll try to stay with just a glaze, just a sugar raised.
Yeah.
But I will get that vanilla ice cake because I do like that. That's good stuff. And the other kind of donut you like, or in general, is it? I'm going to say it wrong. Is it sour cream? Not sour cream.
Boston cream.
No,
Boston
not
cream.
Boston cream. No, I'll think like an old fashioned donut. That's called something. What is it?
A donut hole?
No, you know what an old fashioned is.
No,
You don't know what an old fashioned donut is?
I don't think so. Is it not round with a hole in the middle?
Yes, but here it is. It's not yeast. It's used with baking powder. It's a type of cake donut. It's really unique. And I want to say it's sour cream, but it's not telling me that.
Mm.
If you Google old-fashioned donuts, Bill, you'll see it. It's a unique kind of donut, and they used to have bags of donuts like this in the grocery store in Winamac. And I
Oh,
would
now
get
I
that
know that.
bag, you
I
know what
know
I'm
what you
saying? And they
mean.
have
I
little
know what you
crinkles on
mean.
the edges.
I've never heard that.
Sour cream. It is sour cream. Old-fashioned sour cream donuts. I love those. Those are
I
great.
I never heard that. We usually got them white powdered, right?
No, we
So
just
I'm thinking
get,
of the wrong thing, I guess.
you are, just
Oh, now I
Google.
got it. It just came
Yeah,
to my mind.
yeah. It's almost like a glazed, but it's more of a cake, right?
I told you I got two. I went to Local Lion twice this week, our local donut place, and I took mom a glazed and a cake and let her pick, and she picked glazed. Interesting. So I had a cake.
Yeah, you were
I,
like, oh, you
I
should have
don't
got
know
two
if that's
glazed,
if mom
idiot.
would do that every time. I don't know how cognizant she was of her choice, but that's what she picked.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what her preference is in donuts.
And then I kind of sat there and thought, I kind of want but I'm having a yeast donut today, so it'll be okay.
Okay, yeah, you should have just bought two.
Yeah, right. Okay, you want to go through these other donut places?
Yeah, so the other place I go to is Trejo's Donuts, which I believe we talked about before. Danny Trejo, famed Mexican actor,
Yep.
has a donut shop here, and he has a taco place down on La Brea. The donut shop is Donut and Coffee. I went there this morning because it's kind of close to me, even though I had to go an extra 4 or 6 blocks. As I walked up, sometimes it has lines, most of the time not. As I walked up, 3 people got out of a car. I could tell they were going. I picked up my pace, got in front of them.
Oh, nice, and get
Because
them.
if you're behind somebody that orders coffee, 3 coffees, that could be like 5 minutes for each coffee to take, right? And there's only one person working there. So that's where I went today. Trejo's pretty good. I don't think it's fantastic. And that donut cost me $4.10 today. That's a lot for a donut, I think.
Yeah, I went $8. I guess it was about $2 a donut is what I think it
Well,
was.
that's much normal to me. That's like Randy's Donuts. This $4.10 for one donut was a little crazy.
It's probably less than $1 at the grocery store, right?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cheap at the grocery store because they suck. The next one, I sometimes go to Sidecar Donuts. Very fancy place. You're talking $4 or $5 a donut. They go over the top with some donuts I don't love. I don't think they do a basic donut very well, although they do the ones we just talked about, the old fashioned. They do an old fashioned pretty good. But if you get a glaze there, don't care for it. However, I did get a birthday cake donut there the other day. Pretty wonderful. They put a little dollop of cookie dough on top. So I enjoyed that. Pretty good. And then the third, more basic one is in the farmer's market at the Grove. There's the Grove and the farmer's market's attached to it.
Side note, one of my favorite places in LA is the farmers market.
Yes, wonderful place.
I love that place. Yeah.
So many different food places. Pretty expensive, pretty crowded, but Bob's Donuts, I believe, was bought out, so I don't think owned by them, and they've kind of rearranged a little bit.
Do people
cash? You can't play credit card. You have to give them cash there.
Do people in LA scoff at the farmers market, or
people love the farmers market?
Locals go to the farmers market a lot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's not,
and tourists love it.
Yes, I was just wondering if it was all tourists.
Probably a lot, but I think some. They had closed off the farmers market for a couple of World Cup events, but I don't know how that worked. But it's back open now.
I gotta say, Ann, your sentence that says "sucky donuts are trash," in parentheses, sometimes I still eat them. That's really funny.
It's true though, right?
Yeah, that's fantastic comedy writing.
Well, thanks.
Way to go.
Sucky donuts are trash, but they're in front of me, and so I'll eat it.
I might make that the title. I do feel like I need to give Geoff props, but
Maybe I should write a whole essay about sucky donuts are trash.
I mean, while we're there, I don't even know what my essay would be. I mean, that's a question. Is like, what am I an aficionado of? For you, I think of pretzels and chicken breasts come to mind early.
Do you? Boy, I would never write about pretzels. That's crazy.
So you're not into pretzels?
I like pretzels, but I just like a pretzel. I would have nothing to write about it. I could
donuts are top. Maybe donuts are big for you.
Donuts, cake, cookies. I could write about the proper kind of chicken finger. What do you call those things?
Yeah, chicken fingers, chicken nuggets.
Not nuggets, but they call them something else when you're buying stuff like a Raising Cane's. You'd say a chicken tender, I guess. Tenders, yeah. But I don't think many people would agree with me. And I could write a lot about a nice cheese pizza.
I would love to see you write anything.
Well, I don't know if I have it in me.
It's you. I'm sort of you're sneaking in writing here.
Okay, well, sneaky. The one I wanted to shout out to was Boland's Donuts. So, Bill, come on.
Yeah, right.
Boland's Donuts. We were both born in the town of Logansport, Indiana. I only lived there for 5 years. When I almost entered kindergarten, we moved, but we still went to Logan often to shop because we lived out in the middle of nowhere, and we always went to this donut store. I don't know what road. I want to say it was on one of those one-way roads,
It's like
Broadway and
Broadway. Yeah,
something.
I would have said Broadway. Yeah.
I think Broadway is the one that goes one
The
way,
other way.
and Bowling goes the other way. And just a simple storefront with glass, and they would sometimes draw on the front. Anyway, getting those donuts as a child, just the greatest donuts ever. We went back to Logansport for the first time in many, many years for our to bury our father. And of course, we stopped at Boland's Donuts the morning of. I think I even did it. I think I was so insistent on it. I went down and got it. And they did not disappoint. I thought they were just as good as before.
So one thing about last night, Zach Vernon, his book is called, what's it called? Eating on a Mountain at the End of the World.
This is the lecture you listen to?
I would call it a reading, right?
A reading, yeah.
He read from his new book. It kind of gave me, bring this up because he sort of re-inspired me. I wrote around 40,000 words on our trip to bury our father back home through the hurricane. And I thought, ugh, that's just a little too short to be a book. I don't know what this is. But I wrote about the Boland's Donuts, and the reason I remember it so specifically is you went out on your own and you went to get the donuts, and then you went somewhere different so you could get ice in a cup for your drink.
I went to a gas station so I could get a fountain soda. Very important to have a nice fountain soda in the morning, although I don't have it every morning.
And you felt the donuts fell a little short of your expectations.
Did I? I don't remember. I felt like they were good.
Okay.
What I remember getting there is just a basic glaze twist. They have a nice twist there. And I do like their cake with vanilla ice. They have a nice special taste. I recall it being pretty good still. Can anything live up to your dream, I guess? Well, we also went to a pizza place there, and it did live up to the dream. So
I think I might bring up Bruno's Pizza in Logan later. So I want to talk about Local Lion Donuts and Coffee is what it's called, 791 Blowing Rock. By the way, we link to everything at thetorg.com. First of all, I said I don't have the language to talk about donuts. I have even less language to talk about tea. I guess you're not supposed to say chai tea because chai means tea, so you just say chai. Do you know anything about that?
I don't drink tea. I think tea tastes horrific. I don't understand it. I even like it less than coffee, and I don't really like coffee.
You and Ted Lasso agree.
Yeah, I would never drink a glass of tea. If they said tea or coffee, I'd say coffee, and I don't like coffee, guys.
So Megan got a chai at Local Lion yesterday. We were out looking at a lot of different houses. Boy, that could be a story in itself. She proclaimed it the best one she ever had, maybe.
Oh, well.
So good job, Local Lion, on your chai.
Yeah, could be, what's the word when you like the thing you just had, but
yeah,
if you actually lined it up against things.
Recency bias.
Yeah, recency bias. That's exactly what I was trying to think of.
So this is off of their website. I like this, and I didn't know about, this is one of the good things about the podcast, is I've lived here for 7 years. I didn't realize it was Josiah and Meredith who founded Local Lion. Here's from their About Me page. I like it. Josiah was born and brewed in Boone, North Carolina.
That's a good line. Yeah.
He met Meredith as she was serving coffee on App State campus, and they settled into this beautiful mountain town. Same. Together, they founded Local Lion in the spring of 2012. Early mornings making scratch-made donuts and fresh roasting coffee are an excellent way to serve community. We love being an integral part of the high country.
Well, that's very sweet.
It's beautiful.
To me, waking up that early in the morning to make donuts would be very rough. I wouldn't be into it. It's like the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, making the donuts.
So when Megan and I were dating and first married, I was teaching advanced high school, and school started at 7:15 in the morning, and she was getting up about
early. Yeah.
We were getting up at like 5:30. And the alarm would go off, and I would tell Megan time to make the donuts.
Time to make. She'd be like, "Thanks." That's
every day. We both got up every day for probably 2 or 3 years, saying, "Time to make the donuts."
Time to make. Well, it was a great commercial.
It was.
As an aside, Dunkin' Donuts, big thumbs down. Their donuts aren't any good to me.
Iz loves them,
but I would eat them. But they're not very good.
We don't have a Dunkin' Donuts. That's kind of funny, isn't it?
We only have like one or two. There's not, and they're kind of hard to get
If
to.
you go south on 321, you do hit one.
So if you hit the Northeast, they'll be everywhere though, right?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he talks about this is to the essay now. There's this road, Ephra Road. I ask you about what your Ephra roads are. This is what the piece opens with, and you're the best reader. Can you read that paragraph for us?
Oh, sure. For many years, I lived in various flats, either on or just off Brixton Water Lane. So I was always walking, cycling, or taking a bus down Effer Road. How many times did I walk down Effer Road? How many hours did I spend walking down Effer Road? If I was going to Brixton Rex to play squash or to Franco's for a pizza or cappuccino, this is before I acquired the refinement of taste in cappuccinos that, in the years since then, has invariably been a source of torment and frustration rather than enhanced satisfaction, or to the aptly named Ephra to meet friends for drinks, or just to take the tube to some other part of London. I always had to trudge or cycle down Ephra Road. Whenever I was going, the journey began and ended on Ephra Road. One of the reasons I moved away from Brixton was that I could not face trudging, cycling, or taking the bus down Ephra Road again.
I
I feel
think
you.
I think if we good job, Ann.
Thanks. I kind of stumbled a little bit at the end, but
I think if we dug in on different phrases, the whole essay is there.
right. Yeah, I hear
Everything
you.
is there. So really, really well done. But we won't tackle the whole essay. I ask you, I guess when I ask you for your Ephra road or roads, what do you hear me asking?
Where's the streets you're on continually
Yeah,
all the time? And sometimes you're like, geez, I don't want to be on the street anymore. I've been on the street so many times. That's what I
right.
hear you asking.
I think I could ask you what yours are, but I'll say I imagine you as not having this now, even though you are on streets much of the time. Because of where you live, there's really good stuff in every direction. Is that true?
I think that's true. I do, of course, have to start out in the same kind of, I have to start at the same place in my apartment. So I'm constantly walking on Melrose. I'm constantly walking on La Brea. I'm constantly walking on Santa Monica Boulevard. So those things can get a little bit like, here it is again. The only thing I can think is my commute that gets old. The commute
Yeah,
gets old, right? You're
sure.
on that street and you're like, here I am at this street, and oh, I have to make this, or oh, I don't want to get behind this bus because he blocks the road. Those things happen to me continually every day. So that can get old. But the actual walking probably doesn't get
Yeah.
old.
To me, like if you lived around Penn Station or around Grand Central Station in New York City, or you drew a line between those two places and you kind of lived in there, there would be a lot of heading in every direction. So, like the first place that I bring up, and I didn't live there long enough to get that sick of it. I lived on Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens, which was on what is that? The West East River? Yeah, on the East River. And I couldn't do anything without walking 3/4 of a mile to the east from my apartment to where then I was getting at the end of a pretty obscure, the N and the W ended there. You couldn't even go north. It was the end of the line, I think. So that was like it doesn't matter where I'm going on Ditmars.
I feel like I even remember that name from just visiting you, Ditmars Boulevard. So
Right. Do you have anything else to say as far as your other EFRA roads? I think you have, I'm looking at your list here.
well, I really mixed up this bullet points. I start talking about other donut places. But yeah, basically it's La Brea, it's Melrose, it's Santa Monica Boulevard. Those are the roads that I'm on all the time. Maybe Santa Monica might be the most that I get a little bit tired of. Like here I am on Santa Monica Boulevard with the ridiculous traffic, that kind of thing. So that might be the most frustrating one.
So we're looking to move, and I think the number one reason is, boy, it'd be great to sell our house and not have a mortgage payment. So the market has changed such that we could do that. But also, I think on the list, more like four, five, or six, and hopefully no potential buyers are listening to this. Maybe you won't have to go into town as much as I do. But we have DeWitt Barnett Road, which is beautiful. And I still once a week think, man, this is a cool view off of this road. But pretty much anytime we're going anywhere, I'm going to Charlotte, I'm going to Boone, I'm going to Winston-Salem, I'm going to Blowing Rock, I'm going, there's almost nowhere I can go, except perhaps Johnson City, that I'm not going on DeWitt Barnett, where you have to drive about 10 miles an hour a couple times, where you're on a sharp S curve, where you're heading in almost the opposite direction, going very steeply up or down. And I've been doing that for 7 years, and now we have this detour of a bridge that makes us go around the golf course. So I think I do feel like him, like, whew, here I go again.
Right. That road, even when I'm there, it gets frustrating. And you gotta, oh, I gotta turn left on this stupid highway. And sometimes it's easy, and sometimes you gotta sit there a long time. You're telling me that golf course bridge is out, and you gotta do something?
Yes.
Oh,
So there, because of the hurricane, so when we sell, we'll bill that as, there's going to be a beautiful new bridge in the fall, but it's closed for the summer. So when you get to the golf course, you're going left, right, right, left to get around the golf.
wow.
It's actually, of all the things that it could be, it's about as, I mean, you basically just have to drive around the golf course, which could be worse, but still, it's already taking a road and making it a little worse.
Right. You got this 10-minute drive on curvy, crazy roads just to get out to the highway, basically. Yeah. I find it frustrating when I'm there.
Okay, so I ask you to find a spot where you wanted to read a little longer piece, and we skip in a few things that you can circle back to if you want to. So the Nietzsche enduring habits section, I'm going to read that. Nietzsche, right? Nietzsche.
You really threw me. I wasn't
I
ready to
know.
answer
I
that.
thought I'd
Yeah.
had it, and now I did even read about him a fair amount. Okay.
Whenever I read about him, I always think I should really get into this and see what he's all about because he's mentioned all the freaking time.
Right. So Nietzsche, I'm embarrassed now if I'm screwing it up, but whatever. Nietzsche loved what he called brief habits, but so hated enduring habits that he was grateful even to the bouts of sickness or misfortune that caused him to break free of the change of enduring habit. Though most intolerable of all, he went on, would be a life entirely devoid of habits, a life that would demand perpetual improvisation. That would be my exile and my Siberia. Unlike Nietzsche, unlike Nietzsche, um, this is Geoff reading. I thought it was me for a second. Unlike Nietzsche, I succumb all too easily to enduring habits. Programmed by habit, I kept going to this coffee shop until I met the woman who became my wife. So I mean, one, when I read this, I think I'm a guy of enduring habits. I don't know someone who keeps habits more than me.
Really? Well, first of all, I looked it up. It is Nietzsche. So
Nietzsche.
you're correct.
So I was
Yeah,
very
Nietzsche.
close or
Now,
correct.
looking at the word, I would never say it like that. So
Yeah,
congrats.
thanks.
But you are a professor. You should know Nietzsche.
Right, I know. I should know more than I know, but
Yeah.
I know a little. He's God is dead, right?
What?
Isn't he God is dead? Didn't he
Oh,
write that?
he's really dark. Yeah. I don't know. Um, I guess he might be, but I think all human beings are, like he says in the title, the condition is routine. We have a lot of
Mm,
routines.
yeah.
I personally am somebody very rigid sometimes. I can keep habits for a long time. I think maybe you are worse, I don't know, or better. I don't know if the word's better or
Right, I
worse.
know. That's what I'm thinking about.
It's up to you. I think this author is definitely much more into it than I am. I'm not as crazed as he is, I don't think. But yeah, I think we're all particular. I am definitely a particular person. I will say that. I don't know if it's routines, but I'm very
Something.
particular.
Okay, so I don't know if he still does this. I just thought of something. So my friend Kevin Larkin, I think he probably goes to a gas station and gets a giant soda every morning, and maybe he's changed his routines. And I guess now I'm thinking of my habits. I used to, when I was trying to get tenure and I got up at 4:15 every morning and drove to Queens, I had a banana, a cup of coffee, and a Cliff Bar, chocolate, exactly the same. I probably did that for 4 or 5 years, but that's not the same thing as first he called them 11s of going out to the same place every day and get a coffee and a donut.
Right. A couple things I want to speak on here. Number
Yeah.
one, like Kevin, I too would get a huge extra large soda.
So do you do that every day now?
I have been doing it more now, not every day, because I'm on the strict diet. And you think, well, you shouldn't be drinking large sodas, but actually, it helps me not eat if I have a large, huge soda. I know
And
it'll
it's a
probably.
sugary soda, not a diet soda.
It's a diet. No, I
Oh, it
would
is a
never.
diet.
I don't drink any calories unless it's alcohol, unless there's purpose.
Oh, nice.
That's one
We've
of the
got
rules.
our second rule to live by.
My diet rule is never drink calories unless it's alcohol. And
Yeah.
then, hey, what are you going to do?
That's what Tom Brady says in his 12 book or whatever it
Me
is.
and Tom Brady, mine's alike.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah. So I would buy a large soda. And, here's a throwback to one of my bullet points. When I worked at Brownsburg, they built a brand new Casey's gas station
Mm-hmm.
right by our workplace. And I would go in there and I would get a large, and they'd have Diet Mountain Dew on the tap, on the fountain. Very rare. Loved it. I would get a large one of those and I would get a cinnamon kind of cake donut they had. Best gas station donut I ever had in my life. I would get that 3, 4 times a week. I wouldn't get it every day, but I would get it a lot. And I loved it and it was wonderful. So I would do something every day. And I do eat similar things. Every morning I have a Diet Coke. Every morning I usually have some kind of protein bar.
So I think about these enduring habits and these what do they call them? What was the other kind of brief habits.
Brief habits. He just
Like let's
means a
say
habit that you would get into.
you and I went to the Outer Banks for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days with mom and my family. And then we went to Universal, just me, Megan, and Izzy. And I gotta say, by the third or fourth day of something like that, I feel liberated in a way I didn't know I needed. Because I just get out of my
Routine. Yeah.
I am compelled to sit at this desk I am sitting at now. I would say 90% of the mornings, I sit in our sitting room with Megan and I eat a bowl of yogurt and drink a cup of coffee and we talk for 10 or 15 minutes. And then I sit down and start working at my desk. And I do that, you know, 310 days a year.
Right. Yeah. You probably definitely do it too much, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I probably don't have, but I'm just like, well, what else am I going to do if I'm not sitting here?
Take a walk. Yeah, you could. There's
Yeah.
the possibilities are infinite. But I hear you. I definitely have a routine that I usually stick to. But even on the weekends, I have a routine up to like 10 or 11 o'clock. But then I'm free and I do whatever. Now, do I do similar things a lot? Yeah, I guess. But I feel pretty free out there doing them.
The routine is the only way I know to get work done. So the routine helped me write books. The routine helped me run marathons. The routine helps me learn something over 4 months.
Well, I
But
think we're
he's,
also both very type A kind of people. We're structured people. We have schedules. We like that, and it comforts us. We're not a type B. I don't have messy slop. I don't want to say it like that because that makes it sound like they're not the good people. I'm not a type B person that has a mess, and I know the mess, but that actually comforts me. I'm comforted when things are structured and organized, and I follow rules. I'm not a very good rule breaker. I'll say that.
so what did you pick out that you wanted to read to us? Hey everyone, we're taking a quick break from the podcast discussion so I can tell you about my novel, Love on the Big Screen. It tells the story of a bench warming college basketball player whose understanding of love has been shaped by late 80s romantic comedies such as Say Anything and 16 Candles. The second edition is available on Amazon for $4.99 for the Kindle, $9.99 for the paperback. You can also access the book at our website, the Torg.com. Thanks for listening. And now back to the episode.
This is basically after he's found his place and he's saying, I've moved up. My nines become 11s. Oh, no, I'm sorry. My 11s becomes nines. You know what I mean? It's going
I
earlier
love
now.
this part. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll just listen carefully.
And so my life fell into the varying routine I crave and need. I would wake up, have my muesli at home, work for a bit, and then go to Dialectica for my 11s. I say unvarying, but gradually, as my eagerness to go to Dialectica increased, I found it impossible to concentrate on my work because all I could think about was my donut and coffee. And so I started having my 11s earlier and earlier until I ended up skipping breakfast and having my 11s at 9. At the latest, I went to bed at night looking forward to my nines. And then as soon as I woke up, I stumbled out of bed, dressed, and went to Dialectica before I was even properly awake. I got dressed in a hurry. I hurried down there. And then, although I loved them and should have savored them, I started gobbling down my donut and drinking my coffee in a hurry, gobbling and slurping them down in such a frenzy that I barely tasted a thing. Before I knew it, the high point of my day, was over with. It was only 8:45 and there was nothing else to look forward to. Well, I
Yep.
found that sad,
Yes, it is
and
sad.
I did understand it a little bit. Um, Me personally, I like to get the things I don't like done in the morning,
Same.
and then I can think about the wonderful things I can look forward to, like, oh, at 7 I'll just be laying on my couch surfing the internet watching TV. Those are the good things I look forward to. So it is sad that his high point of his day became 8 o'clock. Now, in my change to try to eat better, or diet, I guess, I don't know if eat better is the right word. I normally would wake up and eat my breakfast right after my shower and then I would drive to work. But now I'm like, no, let's wait to eat until I get to work at 7:30 and I'll eat at work. And so now I do find myself thinking about eating at work and like, whoa, can't wait till I'm sitting at work.
Oh, that's probably good. That seems good.
Yeah, I've delayed eating, so hopefully it spaces out better.
I
But it
think
is something I do look forward to, is drinking my Diet Coke and eating my little protein bar at work.
there's a lot there. I think I would like to wait to eat, but I think the time with Megan is really important to our marriage, and I don't know if I would want to wait. So I sort of eat my yogurt and sip my coffee talking to Megan, and I guess I could do that without eating, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could just sit there and sip your
And then
coffee.
sometimes
Yeah.
my life is such that it's like, well, now I'm off to class and now I can't eat. But so I don't know if I have this thing that I look forward to so much every day. You do look forward to, like, how much do you look forward to your walk with your friends at work? Is that like a big treat?
Oh, for sure. It's just because it's a wonderful break in the day. It'd be 9. I'll be like, oh, in an hour I can go for my 10 o'clock walk. And sometimes somebody will schedule a meeting at 10 or something. I'm like, Jesus, I can't
You
go. Oh my
probably don't
God.
know this. Is the 11s a thing or did he coin that?
It took me even a while to know what he meant, but he just meant he did it at 11, right?
Yeah, Megan loved that. She heard
I've
that.
never heard of it before personally.
I know,
It
maybe
took
it's
me a
an
while to
English.
figure it out, actually. For a while, I was like, what are 11s? What is he
So
talking about?
11s is I'm going to get a donut and coffee.
Which to me, 11 is really late to be
It is
drinking a
pretty late.
coffee and donut. I don't get it. To me, you need the caffeine right away.
So I'm going to circle back to this, otherwise known as the human condition, is the title. I don't really think this is the crux of the essay, but in this section that you read, the things we love actually almost destroy us or make us, the things we love most make us the most unhappy.
Right. I was going to say, when you said destroy us in my head, I was like, well, that's what I was kind of thinking. Because to me, it's like these habits and these things I do every day. It's kind of the comfort of the day. It's expected, but it's also kind of destroying your life in that it's trapping you in a certain behavior every day and it's not allowing you to grow, but yet it's what you kind of crave, but you're kind of depressed that you crave it and you want to break out of it, but you don't find the strength to break out of it. You have fear. So yeah,
And
I agree with that.
it feels like a cousin to addiction.
Right. It definitely is addiction.
But he's not eating, he's not eating. He somehow still continues. Oh no, they do start ordering like 2 cups of coffee. Do they order 2 cups of coffee and 2 donuts? Sometimes I think there's a little section in there where they do that.
Oh, I thought it was just his wife was ordering one and he was ordering one, but
Oh,
maybe.
maybe that was it. But he doesn't go on to eat 10 donuts a day.
Right. It's like when people go to McDonald's and they're getting a hamburger and chicken nuggets too. And it's like, no, guys, you just pick one main and one side. You can't have two.
Okay, so I like that. Now, high point of the day, I don't know if I have a high point in my day.
I think I have several high points. I have several markers of my day. A work day, you hit them on get to work, be done with showering, all that crap, getting ready. And I'm all ready. And now I've even done my commute and now I can sit and eat. And there's not very many people at work yet. It's just me and maybe 2 or 3 other people.
In the
That's a high
summer,
point.
a treat for me in the summer is the moment we fire up Fortnite. 7:30. I just finished my summer class. There could be a mid-afternoon Fortnite game with Charlotte today. Is plays once in a while. Or the moment the whole family fires up Mario Kart, which is a almost nightly occurrence.
Right. As an aside, have you been collecting sprites, or do you just not
No,
care?
we're OG. We only play OG now, and we even are
Oh,
sad that OG moved on a little.
oh, I'm collecting sprites. I'm
Oh,
extracting them, making sure they're safe. It's pretty.
we played one game and we didn't like it. We didn't give it enough chance, probably.
Oh, some of those sprites are great though. And it's like I'm saving them, but it's like I'm never using them. I need to put them on my back and use them a little bit. But anyway, that's an aside
If we
for
have more
sure.
time, I could ask you what's going on with the sprites. Okay, golden lines for discussions. I have one, two, three, four. Will I do all four? I don't know. Here I go. Psychologically, the location of a place is not fixed. It is determined not by where it is, by how we get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree somewhat. I mean, a place is fixed, but yeah,
The thing
your
that reminded
approach to a
me
place for sure.
most is like if I come at something from the other direction, all of a sudden I don't know where I am.
Yeah, I can see
I do
that.
that
Yeah,
sometimes
for
around
sure. And
here.
you're confused and you're like, wait, what? What am I
It's like
looking at here?
I come off the mountain on a road, because I do a little driving around. So when let's like yesterday, we drove by 9 houses that we're semi interested in buying if we sell our house. And so you get out in the mountains, then you lose your cell phone signal, and then you kind of have to find your way down to a road that you know. And sometimes I'll like, oh, we're here, but then I can't think of where to go next because of. Did you pick out any of these?
Did I what?
Did you pick out any golden lines for brief discussions?
No, no. I felt like you picked that enough.
Oh, so I'll just keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Also, you don't want to buy a place out there without any cell phone signal. I thought you were getting in the city. What are you doing out there?
No, it has more to do with your traveling from one place to another. I'm okay. I would say I'm shifting my goals a little bit. Well, that's
Okay.
another thing is living in the city, living in a town, living in the country. This essay does kind of touch on that. I think my number one guiding principle, which I wouldn't say is definitely Megan's, number one, buy a house with no mortgage.
Oh,
Uh,
right. Well, that's a good
Number
money.
two, I kind of like draw a circle around Boone, extending along 321 to Blowing Rock, anywhere in there. I'm having a little trouble letting go of a view. I really like having a view.
Right. There's probably a lot of great views, though, in Boone. One thing I would throw in there, Bill, is, and maybe it's not a bigger deal, but in LA, I see so many houses that are on some street that's just way too busy. It's like, you don't want to be on the street. You want to be on a street back here. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Don't
Yeah.
don't buy a one on the busiest street. And what's that main highway? Don't buy one off that highway.
No, right.
Yeah.
Megan would never allow that.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not close to that. Okay, so here, I don't even know what this line's going to say. I'll read it, then we'll talk about it. I went back to Delateca the following day and ordered another cappuccino and donut. The donut I ordered that day was a ring donut, and it was an amazing donut. This was a major turning point in my New York life. As such, it will feature prominently in my forthcoming book, Great Pastries of the World, A Personal View.
First, I think we're pronouncing this place two different ways. I don't know how to do it, I guess. I was saying Dialectica. Dialectica? Is that what I'm saying?
Delectica, you're right. I'm wrong.
Okay. The other thing is, I would never think of a donut as a pastry. Is it? I guess it is.
It's a
When I think
baked
of
good.
pastry, I think of little flat things with fruit in the middle and some icing on it, like a
Everyone
Danish,
around here,
right? A
like
Danish, I guess.
Martha's Bakery, which I think there's a lot of them now. It was on Dip Mars. They didn't sell donuts, they sold pastries.
I prefer a donut over a pastry. Now, I did recently, say in the past year, go to Solvang up here in California, which is like an old Danish town. You would not believe how many pastry places there are selling Danishes. And normally I'd be like, I don't like Danish, but I had a Danish there. That's pretty good. So I have to change my mind.
So we mentioned Bruno's Pizza in Logan Sport, and
The greatest.
it's a place I wrote about in my Hurricane. It's called Hurricane Drive right now, but I just thought Anne set impossible expectations for Bruno's, but Bruno's met them. So let me read this section. I think the author has a different experience than Anne. It was still there, and we ordered cappuccinos and croissants. And the croissant, while it was just about tolerable, was nowhere as good as I remembered. And the coffee was pretty terrible, too milky, and the foam was all bubbly. And although it seemed okay at first, by the halfway stage, I decided it was totally revolting.
Yeah, pretty sad when you go to a place and it doesn't live up to it. Bruno's Pizza even had to change the location from when we were there, right? Because in the old days, it was on a different street, and it looked totally different. It kind of looked like a Randy's Donuts, the way it was shaped.
I realized that I thought about Bruno's the way I think about a recording studio, meaning it's just like this spot with this wood and these concrete blocks on this ground create a special sound. And Bruno's was doing the same thing with pizza. And when it moved around different concrete blocks and wood, and I don't know, do they move the ovens? I thought it had no chance to reproduce the taste, but it was the same.
It was the same, and it has such unique tastes, and I really love it. And I'm thinking about it right now, and I can almost taste it. So
We're
it
so
was.
far from it.
I know we're so far from it. One of my most endearing memories is one of my birthdays. I think we went to see Muppets Take Manhattan, and I had like three of my friends with me, and then we got Bruno's Pizza and ate in the park. Right? Am I imagining
Mom
that?
used to get Bruno's pizza and freeze it at home.
Right. It'd be
And-
half cooked, and then you
yeah.
finish it off. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have eaten a lot of Bruno's Pizza in that park, the park that had the train in it, whatever that park was.
Riverside Park, I believe.
Riverside Park, yes.
Where you could get the gold. What did you get if you got the
You
gold
got a golden ring. I think you got like a free ride.
free ride
probably.
on the
Yeah.
merry-go-round? Yeah, great, Ann. Okay, last sentence. We'll let you read. This is the let's see. Okay. One thing I noticed, this is not as important. Ann's going to read just the last couple sentences of the whole essay, and then I want to get back to this human condition. Writers like to go long, late. Long
Long
sentence.
sentence, you mean?
Long sentence.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely
And
like to wrap it up and try to have some kind of
so
theme
it's certainly
somewhere.
a choice that people make, either to end with an incredibly long sentence, like the whole last paragraph is one sentence, or to go like, watch me write a grammatically correct sentence of 700 words. Then I'm going to give you a 4-word sentence just so you know that I know we can also do that.
Okay.
But this is a pretty long last sentence here.
Okay. I'm starting with it, right? It did
Yeah,
not.
that's right.
It did not seem like that at all now. Now it became a symbol of the healing potential of the donut, of a world community of donut lovers living in peace and harmony, bound together by the vision and ambition of a Czech immigrant who went to New York, opened his donut plant, and then forged a donut empire extending from New York to Tokyo while regrettably bypassing London, where we still have to make do with croissants that are like stale buns, so that at all times the whole of London seems like nothing else so much as an integral extension of Effer Road.
Nice.
So he's bringing it back to Effer Road sucks. Effer Road doesn't have the stuff he wants, and here I am on Effer Road.
Yeah, since you're honing in so much on Effer Road, I'm going to read. This is almost the same thing, I think. I reflect, this is just like so he says he's done and he almost ended, but then he had this experience in Japan, so he put that on the end too. So this is like the first ending that he had in mind before he went to Japan. I reflected on the way that wherever we live, we are always compelled to repeat the same thing over and over, that at some level, perhaps every level, all we ever do is trudge up and down Effer Road, and that whatever we are talking about, whether it is something pleasurable like finding the supreme donut, or something onerous like taking the subway or the tube, when we talk about life, we might just as well talk about trudging up and down Effer Road, irrespective of where we are in the world. So that's really dark.
It's really dark, but I always try to look on this side is that even though, yes, I have things that have become routine and banal and cumbersome, I guess is the right word. Then I think of olden days and olden times and how they were stuck with these routines. And there's no way they were getting out of them, and they were much worse. And I do have the freedom to stop my routines if I so have the willpower to do so. So I don't really bask in the misery of it. The misery kind of comforts me in a way, so I don't mind it.
I think you and I both reject this outlook of the human condition.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean I don't, I really, obviously, I like this piece enough to freaking take screenshots of it and transfer it over into a Google Doc so I could share it with my sister. And I just spent 90 minutes talking about it. So I love this, and it's thought-provoking, and I get a glimpse into at least Jeff's outlook for these moments that I'm reading his work. And then this will be something that I'll say is maybe one difference between me and you, and then what you would have to say about it. I feel like I've dodged some of this trudging by getting out of public school teaching and becoming someone who needs to show up at App State 2 or 3 times a week, or, 3 or 4 hours and say, oh, that's good for today. I'll work on this a little bit tonight. Um, I feel like I've kind of beat the system. And now you're someone who, I don't know, 45 weeks a year or so needs to show up at work. And so to me, that's could be your Afro road.
Right, for sure. But there's so much freedom of work. I don't feel
Mm.
that burdensome on me. And I have had jobs that were much more burdensome. So I feel a certain freedom at the job I do right now that it doesn't bother me that much. And I have enough time off that it doesn't make me depressed or anything like
And
that.
doesn't this guy seem like he has even more freedom than us?
Yes, I mean he can
What
have
is
a
he
donut and
doing?
coffee at 11. I mean, yeah. So he's a writer,
He's
right?
free to go. I guess he's
Yeah.
just writing, right? He's just
Yeah.
writing.
So he builds his own time, and writers often sit at coffee shops, right, and do nothing.
I know I've never been a sit at a coffee shop.
One thing I wanted to mention that I hate that he seems to accept as okay and maybe even likes is when the people start to know you, recognize you,
Oh
know
yeah.
your order, hand you the order without even speaking. I
Hmm.
know that's good, but I don't like it. It's happened to me several times. It happened to me. The most embarrassing time was I think I would order when I lived in Brownsburg. I would order from Papa John's in Brownsburg. And one time I was over in a neighboring town. I don't remember what it was. It was a town in the south. It was close by, though, a close by town. And I was like, oh, I'll just pick up my pizza right here. And when I came in there, they were like, oh my gosh, don't you come to the Brownsburg store? And I was like, damn it. They share employees, I guess,
They
across
work in different
these.
spots.
Yeah, they work in different spots. So I don't like that. And then we used to have a Quiznos by my work. And at Quiznos, at these sandwich shops, I'm always ordering ham, cheese, bread, nothing else. No
Yeah.
lettuce, no. And it's a weird order, and I think people recognize me. And this woman would recognize me there and just hand me the order, and it would be like, oh. And now she works at a Subway because the Quiznos is gone. So sometimes I'll see her at the Subway, and it's like, damn it, there she is again.
I love this part of this essay in that, like, one, he seems to enjoy flirting with a waitress at one place. There's another waitress who doesn't flirt with him at all, but she makes the perfect, whether it was coffee or cappuccino, I think it might have been a cappuccino. And he's doing a lot to like make sure she's the one who's making his cappuccino, which reminds me of like things people do with hairstylists, for example.
Oh, for
Right.
sure. Even more so. Yeah.
And then your little story, we certainly had that at Pizza King, which is also a great pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Pe-
Small cheese pizza.
I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of think of the Richard family first. Heather, Susie, I'm forgetting one.
They
Heather,
worked it there.
Susie, I can see her face. They
Mm.
worked at Pizza King, and they certainly like giggled at our weird. But you know what?
Right.
You're the weirder one. As far
Well,
as
we
like
just get a small cheese pizza
yeah,
there,
that's
though.
true.
Yeah.
That's right. So they definitely knew our pizza orders. I think I've liked the idea of being a regular more than you do.
Yeah, for sure. I know some people love it, and it just embarrasses me. I guess it embarrasses me.
And
I
I don't
don't.
want to, I limit my drinking. If I have a drink 2 nights a week, that's quite a bit for me. Like 2 different nights I have a beer, for example. But I
Right.
like the idea of living in downtown Boone or Blowing Rock to where I sit at the bar and people know me and I talk like cheers. But I don't like the idea that I would be drinking a beer every day.
Right. Well, maybe you could order some other things,
And
but
that's mostly
yeah.
a calorie thing.
Right. Yeah, you could order one of those fake beers.
But to walk in and be like, "Hey, everybody," and chat and talk, that seems
Yeah,
fun.
I guess it's just I never do that. It's more like I'm just picking up an order. I don't know. It just embarrasses me, and maybe it's something I could get over, I guess. But yeah.
So another thing I asked you is, well, related to that quote about it depends on what direction we come from. When you moved within LA, were there any noticeable impacts? Because you did move at least once within LA.
Oh, I did write down some things, didn't I? Let's see. Oh, I know. Yeah. So to me in LA, I feel more part of life, if you will.
In
I
your new spot.
in my new spot because I feel like when I lived in Indianapolis or Brownsburg, I was, and this is going to be anti to what people say about LA, but when I was in Indianapolis and Brownsburg, it was like I'm in my car, I go to work, I come home, I'm just not doing things a lot in the community because of the type of person I am, I guess, too. And here, I'm still not doing a lot of things in the community. I'm not going to clubs or I don't know what people do in the community, but I'm not doing them. But I am walking the streets and I'm observing a lot more and I'm being in public places more, I guess is it. So it makes me feel more connected to humans, I guess,
Right.
is what I'll say. And then also there's just more happening here. The energy is happening all the time. I just walked this donut shop from my hike and I saw a group of like four women in Canadian shirts going into creation to get their juices, I guess, before they go to the World Cup game at SoFi.
Yeah.
And actually, I wanted to be like, get in the car, girls. You got a way to go. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, you never see that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm connected to the world. I see people going to the World Cup on the streets, so that kind of energy, I guess, is what I gained here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I certainly it's something I liked about it was an irritant, but I also liked it about living in New York, whether it was the same woman who sold me my lunch at the cafeteria at St. John's or seeing people who always ride the same train as me. I actually walked 2 miles each direction to St. John's for a while. So I guess I lose, you're sort of making me, and then also like when people vacation in your city, which we both have,
Right. Yeah.
it just
Lots of
feels
tourists.
like
Yeah.
there's more going on than, I mean, we don't need to always, if you lived
People,
in,
tourists are excited to be there,
it
right?
doesn't have
So
to
they
be
have an
Winnemac.
excitement.
It could be
Yeah.
Fort Wayne,
Right.
or Indianapolis. There just aren't as many people on vacation in Fort Wayne or Indianapolis as there are in LA or Boone or Blowing Rock
Right. And when people are on
or New York
vacation, they're
City.
usually excited to be there and they have an energy that is catching.
Did you click? So I do link at the Torg.com. You can actually have Doughnut Plant Donuts shipped to you. Did you click on that link?
I did. Now, I will say I would never ship a donut. To me, I want to have a donut that's made the same day. I don't want a day old donut. Sometimes I'll get two donuts and I will have a day old donut, but I don't like the idea of shipping donuts. No,
I was
thank
going
you.
to ship the donuts, but 6 donuts, 65.95.
Yeah, that's
Free shipping. That would be an over a $10 donut I would be eating for the
yeah,
podcast.
that's crazy. I would never ship a donut. Just like I would never ship a bagel, like those bagels that were going to Euro Disney. It
Isn't it
seems insane to
interesting
me.
that this guy, he figured out these donuts are Doughnut Plant donuts. He figured out who makes them. He somehow figured out where they supply, where they send their donuts in New York, and those are the places he went to.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not hard. You just have to
No, but
you'd have to care that much to look into it.
you just don't, there's nothing where your stuff's coming from.
Well, every place I get it, I know they're making it. Now, if
Yeah.
I went to a certain coffee place and I was like, these donuts are great, all you have to do is be like, waitress, where do you get these donuts? And they might be like, oh, we get these from Bob's Donuts every morning.
Okay, so I'm going to skip down, I think, to Anne's favorite desserts.
Okay, first I want to give a shout out to two other donut places that
Okay.
we skipped over.
Yep.
This is from my time in Brownsburg at Indianapolis. So in Brownsburg, there was a bakery called Hilligost's Bakery. And people would order rolls there for Thanksgiving, and you'd have to order like week ahead
Yep.
to get in line. So those are the rolls. But of course, I didn't care about the rolls. All I cared about was their donuts, and they had really solid, good donuts, and I liked it. I want to say that's a German name, Hilligost, but I could just be making that up. And then second was a great little place called Long's Bakery. And I want to say it's down there
Oh,
by
yeah.
Speedway or something. It's almost like you're driving a Speedway. And it'd be close to downtown. And then Long's Bakery, great donuts there
You
at
didn't buy
Long's
a
Bakery.
Long's Bakery shirt, did you?
No.
I wonder if Izzy did. So there's in Broad Ripple, which is a cool section of Indianapolis, there is a t-shirt shop where I get some of my shirts that you make fun of that have like Boom Baby and Slick
Oh,
Leonard.
right.
You know, you always make fun of those shirts. I got them there. I think Izzy bought a Long's Bakery shirt at this
Oh, okay.
place.
It makes
So
sense. It's like
so
an
they have
iconic
like a lot
Indianapolis
of
bakery. Yeah.
historical Indiana t-shirts.
Right. Yeah. It's good bakery. I liked it. I didn't go there very often, but I did like it. Okay. So, favorite dessert. You said your favorite dessert is a milkshake or a cookie. A milkshake, I thought milkshakes bothered you a little bit,
Oh, they do. I know. I really
gastro.
struggled. I don't know what to say about this. I really do like a donut and a cup of coffee, which I don't do very often. I sort of reflected that my cookie intake is way down. I'm struggling to know. I don't order dessert very often either. I think a treat for me is a donut and a cup of coffee, or I have started, I try to take mom something every time I go see her. So every 3 or 4 times, that's milkshakes from Comeback Shack.
Right. So for a milkshake for me, I like them, but I would never pick it.
Yeah,
It can bother me in the GI system.
right. It does usually.
And it seems like so many calories and so much. It's just I like ice cream, but it's never top of my
It's
list.
so much ice cream. I do think that a the better the ingredients, the less it bothers me GI tract wise,
Yeah, for sure. If it's like a really good milkshake, if
as
you
opposed
get
to
like
like
a
a McDonald's.
McDonald's
Yeah,
milkshake, yeah,
sorry,
for
McDonald's.
sure.
We just
Yeah,
trashed you.
for sure. Now I did take a special trip last weekend. I think I went to IKEA way up in Burbank. Took me
Yeah.
forever to get there. Then I was like, oh, well, I'm up here. I'll go to Heavy Handed. This place I heard.
I thought you were going to get your ice cream from IKEA.
Yeah, they do. I saw someone eating one. I was like, I bet I'd like that just as much. But I was like, Heavy Handed has this. It's like a burger place, but also has dipped cones, and I love a great dipped cone. I don't think IKEA has a dipped cone. Dipped cone like Dairy Queen. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. My kids like it.
So I like a soft serve and a cone. So I drove, and I thought it was going to be close because it was in the valley, but no, it was another 20 minutes across the valley, way over in. I don't know if it was Studio City. I think it was in Studio City. So I go to Heavy Handed. Um, I picked the wrong one. I could have got a cookies and cream, chocolate, or something else, and I picked cookies and cream and just vanilla. And I kind of wish I picked a twist after, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. So I do like that kind of ice cream. So these past 2 weekends, I had that sidecar donut, and then now I've had this ice cream, and here I'm going to eat another donut. But my favorite dessert, I think, is cake. A nice piece of cake. Now I'm really particular about cake. I don't want any cake with fruits. A raspberry swirl cake. No, I don't want a layer of lemon. No, I don't want any of that. I want it to be cake and icing, and I'm big on icing. A lot of people are like, oh, too much icing, too sweet. No, get me in a sugar coma. I just want the icing, icing, icing. I love icing. Not to say I don't like a normal cake too. Certain coffee cakes are really good. That brings me back to one of my enduring habits when I lived in Brownsburg would be every Sunday. I would drive up into Indy, go to Einstein Bagels, and get a certain coffee cake, which was actually a chocolate chip coffee cake. And sometimes it would be out, just like this man would go and look at the donut. It would be out. So I'd be like, oh my God, please don't order that last chocolate chip cake. I'll be so
Oh
sad.
yeah, this guy in the essay is hustling to get ahead of people
Yeah.
and try to get that last donut before somebody else gets it.
Sometimes that would happen because they would only have like 3 or 4 chocolate chip coffee cakes, and I would see it, and then I would order it, be all relieved, and then I'd read the actual physical Sunday paper. So I did that for years, but I haven't had that coffee cake in a long time, but I do love that coffee cake.
So I do want to talk about what we've done on the podcast the last couple times about stories I read and watched, and I want to ask you about your trip a little bit. But I think we can talk with our mouths partially full if that grosses you out. Thanks for listening to Torg Stories podcast.
Misophonia. Yeah.
Ann and I are going to have a donut and chat about those last two topics. So let's hold up our donuts, Ann, to the screen. Yeah, yours is beautiful. What do you have there?
It's a horchata donut. Oh, just a chocolate icing. This horchata donut I like because of the icing only. The donut is just a plain donut. It doesn't even have glazing on it. But this icing is so soft and airy.
You've already had one?
I've had one in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This is
haven't
from
bitten into it yet.
Trejo's.
This
What?
is from Trejo's. I don't like a lot of their donuts. And actually, a lot of them have Spanish names. And so I just point at them because it's like, I can't possibly pronounce this donut. There's only a
Right.
couple donuts I like there. And this is one of them. And it's only because of the
Here's
icing.
here's one of the only negative things I can say about local line. Not open today.
Oh, so where'd you go?
So I got it yesterday.
Oh, you got it yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. So a
I
day
would never
like
pick that donut.
oh really? This is probably my staple. What would you pick?
If the glazed without any icing looked good, I would try that to see if it was good enough. Um, I would pick a vanilla icing over chocolate.
Now the things we're doing here that he wouldn't do,
I
Jeff,
would still eat that though.
is you that frost he would never go for that frost. That's too
Oh,
much
this
frosting.
frosting is the greatest frosting in the
Because
world.
he's pure, right? How are we going to do this? One of us needs
I'll
to.
take a bite right now.
All
Is you
right,
want
Anne's
to
going
bite?
to take a bite, and I'm
And
going
it's
to.
like cinnamon. You know what horchata is? It's like a cinnamon drink that Mexicans love.
Oh no, I did not. So there goes Anne. I'm going to say that
Very good.
I missed recording stories I read and watched like all week. And by the way, I had more time. My camp ended Wednesday, um,
Have another bite.
and my class sort of was like reflective writing, a little less intense for me to examine. So I've really enjoyed marking down things that I read and watched. I feel that I built the habit. I watched John Wick 1. I've never seen any of the Final Destination movies. I read a
Have you
crazy,
seen John Wick before?
yeah, I had seen John
Oh,
Wick
yeah.
before.
I've seen the first one. Yeah.
I read a crazy story that happened in the 90s. I have this whole thing I missed in the 90s where I was in college without a television, of course, no emails, no cell phone. Stuff was happening, and I was just going to basketball practice. Um, where this one physicist shot six people in Iowa, and I followed that story to another University of Alabama, Huntsville woman didn't get tenure and shot
I
people.
read that story before
Yeah.
recently.
So I
I think in
really,
Texas Monthly.
yeah, so I was thinking, man, I should be talking to these about Anne.
Well,
Anne,
it turned out she had killed her brother when they were young.
so did you miss that at all among us or no?
Did I miss it? Oh, the reading stuff?
Miss the
I didn't
recording?
really have much time this week.
Yeah. So it worked out good for you.
It worked out
You're
for
really
me.
giving a lot to the World Cup.
I am,
So
yeah.
now I'm going to take my first bite, and you tell us about when are you leaving? Where are you going? When are you coming back?
Okay, first I've really hit a hiccup because I got a transfer of my Bad Bunny ticket back in November and I thought I transferred it. Now I look, ticket's not there. And when I click it, it's like, you've already had the ticket. And I'm like, no, the ticket's not there. So I've been in talks with StubHub and now they're like, well, if you don't get the ticket by 5 a.m. PST or whatever, PCT time on the day of the concert, then we'll either get you a new ticket or refund you. And so I'm worried that maybe I won't even be able to go to this concert, which is fine. I can accept it actually. My Bad Bunny is kind of, tapered off a little bit. So
Yeah.
I actually won't be ripped up if I can't go, but I better get that $300 back. I'll tell you that. Which it does seem like I will get the money back. So, but I'm still hoping they'll give me a different ticket, but we'll see how it goes. So I thought it's actually, I have 2 full weeks. So not next Saturday, but the Saturday
You're going to be
after
gone
that.
for 2 weeks?
No, I'm telling you when
Oh.
I'm leaving. I was thinking it was next weekend, but no, I'm leaving like on a Saturday. Let me look at the exact dates. The 11th. So I'm leaving on Saturday the 11th, like at 6 p.m.
July 11th.
Flying to I think Frankfurt, Germany, and then I get on a transfer to Warsaw, Poland. So I'll be in Warsaw, Poland, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, which hopefully is the Bad Bunny concert, perhaps not. Then Wednesday, I'll be taking a little short train to Krakow. Krakow, Poland's known as a small little, interesting little tourist city, which I think will be better than Warsaw. Warsaw is more of a modern city. It does have an old town, but they rebuilt it from when it was bombed in World War II, so it's kind of fake old town. So then I'll be in Krakow. Maybe I'll go to Auschwitz, maybe not. I don't know how mentally I want to do that or not. Then I'll stay there for 2 nights, and then I'll be taking a train, which I've already bought the ticket, like a 6-7 hour train ride to Prague. But nice business class seats. The train looks nice. I think I get a free drink, so we're looking forward to that
Having a
already.
drink on the train
On the
in
train
Europe.
to Prague. All three hotels. Now, usually I'm pretty skimpy on hotels, but this time I was like, you know what? I want to stay in nice hotels. So I picked the three nice hotels that look very nice and modern to me. Then I'll be in Prague for 3 nights, and then I'll fly to Heathrow, and then I have to fly to LA. I'll have like a 6-hour layover in Heathrow. But I was like, you know what? At least I'm laying over in an English speaking country. How will I eat? That's a great question. I'm sure I'll eat zero Polish food.
It'll work good for your diet.
Yeah. So what I'll be doing is I'll be eating bread and protein bars from the grocery store. I'll probably have some chicken nuggets from the McDonald's. I'll also be probably getting some cheese pizzas because everybody's got an Italian place that sells cheese pizzas.
What's the return date?
The return date is the 20th, July 20th. And then I took the 21st off too because I thought I don't want to go to work the next day. Right. I'll be getting back really late on the previous night.
So I've got to make some podcast plans.
Right. So I could actually podcast on Sunday the 12th, I think, because Sundays in Europe are absolutely dead. And it's a great day to travel or something. So I think I probably could from my hotel room if you want on the 12th.
Oh, that would be exciting.
Yeah, because Sunday, it's like death world over there. It's like nobody's doing anything.
So as we talk about concerts and hotels.
I'm also going to a concert on Monday.
Oh, where are you going?
Tomorrow, I'm going to see Rosalia, another Spanish language.
Yeah.
Really like her. I'll be going to the Forum for the first time. So kind of a little nervous about because I don't know where, what I'm doing. But I already bought a parking pass at a certain place. So we'll hopefully. And that means I've got to kill a bunch of time after work because I'm kind of close to it at work. So I don't want to drive home and drive back, but it's like 3 hours. So it's like, I think I'm going to go to a bar and watch the World Cup game that starts at like 6.
Great plans, Ann.
Thanks.
Remember, we went to Lainey Wilson and Chris Stapleton last Saturday.
I know. I saw that. Yeah. Lainey Wilson, one of the hotter artists around right now.
And she was the opener.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of Ella Langley.
So we totally.
But yeah, she's great too.
First of all, I'm a member of the Ella Langley fan club. Meaning I signed up for emails.
So you can get tickets or something?
Yeah. So she's, sold out $600 a ticket playing smaller venues or playing with Morgan Wallen, who I don't want to see. Charlotte would like to. But I went 54 minutes to get in the queue on whatever that was this week. When I got in the queue, I was over 12,000th in line. Uh-huh. 2 hours later, when I was offered my tickets, I could only choose the VIP experience. So
you didn't do it.
We didn't want the $525 a ticket.
Could you hang out
backstage? Actually, everybody probably wanted it, but
yeah, who wants to spend
and we weren't even positive we could go because if we went here, I don't know if I should admit, our dog would be okay for 20 hours in the backyard. Garage doors open, food and water, somebody swings by. But Indy's not such that you can take her for a walk or, so we thought we could swing it. But then if we sell the house and move and we're somewhere else, is that a place we could leave Indy for 20 hours? We weren't sure.
Right.
Anyway, Ella Langley.
You could always probably try to resell these tickets because.
That's true. But anyway, I couldn't get
she's
them.
A hot topic.
Couldn't get them. Yep.
She needs to get in bigger places. She's probably already committed herself to this, though, and she has to do it.
Who's committed? Oh, she could be in bigger places.
Ella Langley could be in bigger places. This happens a lot, right? Somebody becomes a star and they're like, oh, I'm opening for somebody. Yeah. Yeah,
and that was Lainey Wilson. But Lainey Wilson, that's interesting. I don't know why Lainey Wilson opens for Chris Stapleton, what her motive is.
Well, Chris Stapleton maybe is bigger. I don't know. I actually don't know between those two.
Yeah.
I don't know Lainey. I know her name. I don't know her music. I do know Chris Stapleton. I like a couple of his songs, but I don't know too much about him.
I think it must be.
He has a great voice.
Oof, boy, he does. It was 2 of the great voices I've ever heard. Just from a
country artists in general, I think really have some strong voices.
Yeah. All right. Well, exciting, Ann.
Like Reba back in the day.
Have fun at your concert.
Well, thanks. I hope so. I almost backed out of it, but I was like, no, you're going to do it. You're going to do it.
All right. Good to see you, Ann.
All right. Good to see you. Enjoy your donut.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds Go ahead.
But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question?
I love you guys.